Hi and welcome to Yahki. In this session we're going to look at the new UK curriculum. We'll be looking at the primary school curriculum, taking an integrated approach to using Yahki to support learning. Here we are looking through the DFE's website. We're looking at stages 1, 2 and 3. Notice down here in the geography section, students should be taught to name and locate counties and cities of the United Kingdom, geographical regions, and so on. So I'm going to focus on this learning outcome. Looking at the English curriculum, I see there are statements for students in their reading, writing, comprehension and so on. Here on a related website, I see students are required to use spoken language to develop understanding through speculating, hypothesizing, imagining and exploring ideas. And so I'm going to link this particular student requirement in Key Stage 2 English with the Key Stage 2 Geography. So let's see how Yahki can support me in addressing the new curriculum in these areas. One of the great tools of Yahki is Yahki Collect, a curation tool that I dragged previously into my browser. Pretty much any browser will work. I click on Yahki Collect here, and this tab appears at the top as a banner. I can collect the entire website that I'm looking at, and it will go to my Yahki portfolio. Or I can collect specific content on the page. And here, of course, we're interested in this outcome statement about the use of spoken language. So I simply highlight it and collect it. Yahki will bring up my sets, which are like folders. I've been working as a student on an assignment on pugs, as you can see here. Well, today I'm going to be looking at language. So I create my own language folder as a student or as a teacher. And then I can add that new UK curriculum statement to my set. There we go. I can come back to other curriculum statements over time and add them to my folder as I go. Here on another website, I found that outcome statement for geography that I mentioned before about UK place names and locations identifying features. So I'll collect that as well. And I'll drop that into my language folder as well. I could have a separate folder for geography if I wanted, but I'm taking an integrated approach here. Now that I've collected some of the requirements for the new curriculum, the statements that I put into my sets in Yahki, I turn my attention to my teaching and learning strategy for my Level 2 class in geography with the integration of the English requirement. What I think I'll have my class do is a short assignment on the creation of an itinerary for a UK holiday tour. And so I've borrowed a student here in Yahki. It's a student, Penny Wu. Actually, she was in another assignment doing a radiography internship in Iceland, but now she's in Level 2 in England. Anyway, what we'll get Penny and the other students to do is to start collecting information about their holiday to the countries in the United Kingdom and the various cities. So we could have used Yahki to set out that task or assignment for the class, or we could have just talked them through it during class time. So Penny and the other students, they look at websites like this one. It's a holiday site. The concept of the countries in the UK being reinforced over here. Actually, Penny might want to collect that map there. Now she has that language folder too, so she knows the outcomes as a student, which is good for high school students. But she's going to create a new set called UK Holiday. It's a great tool for all the assignments that the students are doing in primary school and in high school. So she creates that set or folder. She could write something about that. My assignment curation. There we go. We're seeing the concepts of east, west, north, south being reinforced here. Is very good for geography. She may decide to look over here at attractions in England or Scotland. Let's have a look at Scotland. Now here we are, we see the different regions coming through. So she thinks I'll collect that too. She clicks on Yahki Collect as a student, just like the teacher did. And we'll collect that map. We like our maps in geography. There's other information here. And so she's scrolling around and around. She's thinking about capital cities, so maybe we'll look here for London. The teacher, of course, can scout out these sites and resources in advance. And we see here there are some historic buildings. Here we go, the Albert Memorial. So the student, Penny, she might like to get some information here on the Albert Memorial. So she's just going to collect some information there and add that, along with the picture, of course. This is a great tool for students to develop their skills in curation Initially, students will tend to collect lots of things, maybe too much, but over time they develop a skill of being able to discern what information is most important for their task at hand. And here they're trying to create their imaginary holiday around the UK. So far, she's come across the concepts of north, south, east and west, the various countries of the UK, focused on a particular city, and found a site of some historic significance. So she's up and running. Now she goes back to her Yahki page. She looks in here at her own portfolio, and we see here Penny has previously been working on her pug handbook. She has a pet pug, which you can read about. She has 5 sets, and we can see here, oh look, there's a set on butterflies, toasters, pugs, and here is the UK holiday set. Now, of course, she can change the cover. Select a thumbnail there, and that's looking more like it. If she opens up her set, she will see the items that she has collected. Isn't this fantastic? What's even better about this is that the teacher and her peers can also see the items that she's been collecting. And she can build more and more sets. And as she develops as a learner, going through stages 2, 3, and 4, and so forth, you'll be able to see, and she'll be able to see, her progress. Now, Penny's going to start working on her holiday assignment. So she clicks on the Compose tab, and she decides to call her assignment My UK Trip. I will travel to London and then to Edinburgh. She can add tags. This is new to some young learners, but it's a great skill as well. And she can come back and edit this later on. There might be some mistakes in there, but we can pick that up later. So one of the first things that Penny might do is have a look in her set on UK holiday. And she might start with the map of England, Scotland and Wales, and she just drags that onto her assignment page. It's a lot better than using Word, PowerPoint or those sorts of things. This is a 2014 web technology we're talking about here. She may then drag in this map of Scotland, then her picture from London. Then she might drag in that information she found about the Albert Memorial associated with the picture. Once she has those sources or items on the page, she can arrange them. She might want to put the map of Scotland further up. And she can go in and annotate the items. Let's say a description. And perhaps here she can add some other captions. And she can be assessed on her use of geographic language here to communicate her ideas. Captions may be a new concept for her in level 2. It's all good. Notice here where she's collected this information about Albert Memorial, where she plans to visit on her holiday, that the original source of that information is always kept. And when we publish this as a student, you'll see that this becomes even more powerful as a hyperlink. There's a whole bunch of things that happen when you publish your story in Yahki. So Penny Wu has made a start on her holiday assignment. So far she has collected and curated items which she has found by browsing the web. Another way of collecting and mashing up or managing content is by searching the web. And so we have over here on the left a palette of different open resources available to teachers and students to develop their stories or assignments or tasks at hand. In the context of Penny's assignment, she might want to use video. She might want to look at some sites in Cardiff. Yahki goes out and finds videos from YouTube without taking her to YouTube. She could look at these. She's going to select this video. Once she's added the video, she can decide to cut or edit the YouTube video, again, without going to the YouTube site. She does that by adjusting the handles here in the editing tool.
University is, well, many people.
So she's now edited that to a shorter version, just to highlight the part that she wants. Penny might also want to add some additional images from Google. Perhaps some images of Cardiff again. She can also find web information on Cardiff, but here she's just choosing the images. There's a great shot of Cardiff. Oh, this one has a castle. I think she might select that one. So her holiday is starting to shape up. It looks really interesting so far. She could also go and, if she was a little older as a learner, search on Twitter. For example, for Cardiff tours. She might want to take in the local sites at the Welsh capital. Oh, there's a ghost tour at the Cardiff Castle. She'll like that one. So we'll add that in. It's a tweet. She might want to include some information from Wikipedia, but perhaps the reading age of that content is a little high for her. And so the teacher can also direct her to certain websites which she can add her ideas to. There's also the media locker, where if she's taken some photographs of places, maybe she's been to Cardiff, she can pull those from her own content, from her own Flickr account or Facebook account, again for older learners. Importantly, it's not just about collecting information off the web and managing it in some sort of order. Penny can also use the text editor that comes with Yahki. By hitting this black tab, she can then start to write about her trip, her holiday. And she can continue to work on her text. She can use the editing tool to underline, highlight, make things in bold, format, and so forth. And these text boxes are actually stored in her sets as well. So there's an ongoing record of what she is writing as a student throughout the years. Here we might add another caption. So I think you get the idea of how a student can develop their ideas and pull together different sources to build their learning. And remembering the outcomes for this assignment, we can easily go back and review those as a student or a teacher by simply clicking on her language set without leaving her story. And she sees the standard that she's trying to achieve here or demonstrate through this holiday assignment is to name and locate counties and cities in the United Kingdom. Well, she hasn't named them all, but she's making a great start. And she's also using her language to develop her understanding through speculating, hypothesizing, imagining, and exploring ideas. In this case, related to her make-believe holiday. So we might put those down at the bottom of the assignment. Down. There we go. She might even give this a heading. My learning goals. Now Penny's finished the first stage of her assignment. She's doing really well. She can save as a draft. She can preview her work, or she could just publish it. And of course, she can publish this within her own Safe School channel, so only her peers and teachers see this work. For older learners, there's an option of also being able to publish to the web, as if you had a blog. But again, that's for older students. For Penny, we'll publish the story to our school channel. She gets to choose a thumbnail. She really likes that castle. It's in relation to culture and history, and we publish. And there we have it. Her new story in Yahki. Let's see what it looks like once it's published. Here we go. Penny will receive some stats as people in her class start to look at her story or her assignment and like it and add comments. Teachers and students can leave comments. You'll see here that there are tags to other students' work on geography and London. The teacher can see throughout the day where each student is up to by looking through their class folder. All of the content is rendered to a neat format, and here at the bottom, if I was a different user, I could leave a comment as well. If I wanted to, click on a particular item, like the map, and leave comments just on that particular part of the story. People who come and visit Penny's story can also like the picture or item, and they can even collect the item, like you would in Pinterest, being able to borrow from each other and develop their ideas.